Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir El Azouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we'll do the July 2025 regulatory update. So let's go. But before to start, let me introduce you our sponsor, which is MedBoard. So who is MedBoard?
Hello, it's Antonella here from MedBoard. We are proudly sponsoring this podcast, and if you're struggling in keeping up to date with regulatory news and requirements, we have a solution for you. MedBoard is the only one knowledge and automation platform for regulatory, clinical, market, and PMS in MedTech, pharma, and life sciences. With our unique approach, we combine extensive global data, software products, and AI solutions for many different processes, from regulatory intelligence to literature reviews, post-market surveillance, work management, and many more. Our platform is transforming knowledge accessibility and process productivity to let you know more and do faster. We are already changing people's lives like you, with proven value from our customers. So just contact us at medboard.com to learn more about us and do a free trial. And now, enjoy this podcast with Munir.
Okay, so the first topic of today is some new rules that will be applied soon for eIFU, so electronic instruction for use. So if you use eIFU or you wanted to use eIFU, maybe you were blocked by this law that was mainly saying that eIFU is only applicable to implants, machines with screen, etc., or fixed machine, etc. So there are some kind of restriction in the use for some devices only, which I know can be frustrating. And you are saying, yeah, why should I give all those papers out, etc. So, and now they definitely changed the rule and says that mainly there is a new thing added that says if the device is at the destination of professional use, so surgeons, professional, hospital, whatever, then you can use eIFU also. So you don't need specifically to include paper on it, which is a good news because we'll save a bit the planet with paper, but which is also good news because I suppose that those professionals that are mainly using multiple devices receive 10 times the IFU and don't know what to do with that, I suppose. So it's something that I hope will save a bit of the planet for that. I'm not even sure it's saving the planet, but let's say it is. But yeah, so this is the new rules that will be coming. I don't have the number of this legislation. I have to look at it. It is you give the right number. So you have to look at 2025. Oh, great! The number is great. So the previous number was 2021/2226. It was easy also to remember, but this one is great. 2025/1234. So it's great. I like it. So yeah, this new legislation mainly will be providing new information about eIFU. So if you were not using eIFU because of that mainly, so now if you are really targeting your products to professionals, then you can use eIFU and go to check again the legislation 2025 because it was published in 2025 and /1234 because it is the 1234th legislation that was published this year. They worked a lot at the parliament. So one thing also that I wanted to announce because it's a good time. So we at Easy Medical Device, we have also created a platform to store your eIFUs. Because if you look at the legislation, mainly it's asking you to have a platform that is secured, cyber secured, platform that is always available, that is not shutting down, etc. So we put in place a platform like that is respecting all those requirements with the risk management, with all the different cybersecurity checks, with the validation of the platform, etc. And we offer that to you for use. And the project, there is a free plan with the first project that you can check for life. Mainly, what you have to do is just to go to easyifu eASYIFU.com, and you can create your company and then start to use the platform immediately. So inside the easyifu.com platform, there are two modules. There is a module for creation of the electronic instruction for use, and there is the module for creation of labels. So if you want also to use that to create your labels and to use that for production also, because we have also a mode for production, you can also go there. But principally it's for electronic instruction for use, where you can store your eIFU inside, and then you will reserve first, you can store your eIFU, but you have to be two people. One, because there is the 4 eyes principle on the management. We have the user, the creator of the eIFU, and then the approver and the releaser of it, and then you can publish that on the website. You will receive a tiny URL, so easyifu.com/ and the small code, and you will also receive a QR code that you can place on your products. This QR code will not change, so even if you change the eIFU in the back with the multiple version, the QR code is the same. So really I advise you to just go and test it and verify that, and tell us also if there is anything that we can do. We'll improve that. It's not something that is finished, so we are working on the eIFU. Now we'll work also on creating additional videos, so meaning that we'll place also a possibility for you to upload a video so that you can also present your product to customers. We'll also put maybe audio for people that have visual impairment, so that they cannot maybe see well the eIFU, so they can hear it mainly. So we are willing to do that, but first we give you a free plan so that you can test it and tell us more about that. So don't hesitate. So as I said, the legislation 2025-1234 came at the right time, because then now you can use that for the eIFU, but also if you want, you can use that for because there is also a clause on EU MDR Annex 1 23.1. It says that if you have a website, you have to provide information about safety and performance of your device, etc. And this is something that you can also do through this IFU, because if your information for safety and performance are mentioned inside, then you can also put that on your website. So you receive, as I said, the tiny URL. You can also take this URL and put it on your website, so that people, when they click on it, they will open the IFU also, which will be one place then to manage your IFU instead of having multiple places. I hope it was clear. So thanks again for that. So don't hesitate to go to easyifu.com. Next one, we have the MDCG 2025.6-6. I should have started with the other one, but okay, -6. So this one is about this mix of all the legislation. We have MDR, IVDR, AI Act. So it's mainly for software that contains some artificial intelligence. And this is mainly explaining to you how you should manage mainly all those legislation all together. For example, the AI Act is asking you to validate the data that you are using for AI, to filter, to clean them, etc. etc. So here, how is it working with MDR, with IVDR, with all things? So I really ask you to check that if you're actually developing a software with AI, or you have already a software with AI. Really check that, because it will help you to understand mainly what you have to put in place for AI. And if you remember, we had a podcast episode a few weeks ago, I suppose, or a month ago, where we discussed, it was a few weeks, last month I think, it was where we discussed mainly with Deep Eye Medical about their projects to go to the AI Act with MDR also. So don't hesitate to go back, maybe to look again at the podcast.easymedicaldevice.com, and you'll see the episodes that were there. If your company is willing to go to MDR and AI Act, then you can listen also from the experience of others, how they have done that. Next, we have the MDCG 2025-5, which is the IVDR performance study. So mainly, when you look at MDR, we talk about clinical investigation, so mainly how you are testing that on humans. And here we talk about performance study for IVDR, and here it's like a master class mainly to understand how to do a performance study for your IVDR product. So how to test, how to ask for it, how to initiate that, what documentation you need, etc., etc., which is great. And it's also talking about performance study in combination with like companion diagnostics or other types of products, because you have multiple types of performance study. You have multiple chapters. It gives you the 4 different chapters talking about that, and mainly giving you a case for each of them also. So if you are in the IVDR and you are willing to do or to perform your to do a performance study, then MDCG 2025-5 will really give you all the guidance. It's really a master class to understand performance study. Next, we have Team NB talking about software qualification, IVDR, clarification. So it's when I read this the first time, I said, why have they done that? Because we had the MDCG 2019-11. Will there be any contradiction? But when I read it, I said, oh no, they are really talking about MDCG 2019-11 plus some experience feedback from notified bodies or some clarification about specifically IVDR in that case mainly. But yeah, I think it's really a good add-on. So if you are already using MDCG 2019-11 for software qualification and classification, then don't hesitate to go to this Team NB position paper on software qualification for IVDR. Because really it's an add-on. To be honest, it's really like an annex to the 2019-11, which provides more guidance on how a software for IVDR will be considered as a medical device software mainly. So this is really great. So don't hesitate to go there. It will be on the show notes anyway. So yeah, Team NB are doing great because they are also, as they are notified body association, mainly they are also providing feedback from what their notified body experience within maybe those kind of software, so which can help also to learn from others' mistakes, if I can say, and then perform yourself and be on the safe side. Okay, we have now the CECP. I can't remember what it means, CECP. So it is the Clinical Evaluation Consultation Procedure. Okay, the Clinical Evaluation Consultation Procedure, which is each time I see this kind of document, I'm like, okay, let's go and let's look at it. Because it's a document that is not funny. It's a document that is critical because how it's working. So you are a company that has class 3 implantable or class 2B that is administering or removing medicinal products from the body. Then if you are like that, you have first to go to a notified body. And then after that, you have to go to an expert panel. So what is not funny, but what is always interesting to look at is that there are some kind of, usually when you go to a notified body, they are already difficult with you, so they are already telling you, no, this we don't accept, that we don't accept, etc., etc. And then when you go again to an expert panel, we expect to see that everything is fine, but in this one, no, it's not fine. So mainly this one is for a mechanical ventilator and for class 2B, so respiratory, and mainly, yeah, from the beginning they are saying that no, it's not good. So I can read you the first sentence. It says, this expert panel found the following serious issues with both the documents presented by the notified body for the clinical assessment and the document presented by the manufacturer to the notified body. So mainly about CEP, CER, and even for notified body, the CEAR, which is the clinical evaluation assessment report, which means that they have not done it properly also, and the PMCF plan and everything. So what is always interesting with these documents is first to read it, to understand what were the mistakes that others have done, and then to avoid those mistakes. So it's why I'm always happy to read that, because I learn from it, and when I'm helping my customer, I say, oh no, don't do this because another customer has done that, etc., etc. So it's always really important because if you have to go through an expert panel, it can be dramatic for you if the recommendation is not good, because then you have to come back again and to redo maybe test or redo some documentation, which can have some problem for you in terms of timing also. But yeah, I think it's an important document that you have to read because it gives you really a lot of information. But yeah, it has been long time I haven't seen one for MDR. Usually I saw a lot of for IVDR before. But yeah, this one is good. I mean, but yeah, mainly here they say because on the level there is the level 1 is like no clinical or health impact. No. Okay, positive, negative, I don't know. So this is for clinical. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, don't hesitate to go to the show notes. You will see the CECP, so Clinical Evaluation Consultation Procedure, that was issued by the expert panel for this product. Okay, now we go to the MDCG 2025-4, which is the guidance for softwares delivered with online platforms. So this guidance is mainly for the online platforms. So mainly it says that the online platforms should conform to some requirements like having some fields that should be filled by the software company, fields that are mandatory, like the device name and trade name. So fields, I suppose it's not on the software, it's like on the, when you register your software on the platform, you have to have some fields that are obligatory. Device name and trade name, the manufacturer's entity and EU single SRN number, so single registration number for UDAMED. If it's an MD or IVD symbol and intended purpose, the warnings and precautions, the link to the IFU or eIFU. Oh, great. So you can use also eIFU here. They will ask you the link for the eIFU or if you have a eIFU. Because as it's a software, I suppose you will have an eIFU, so mainly it's possible. The UDIDI, and additional, if applicable, you have the authorized representative and notified body details if applicable, the certificate number, the hardware requirements and dependencies. So mainly you have multiple fields that those platforms should have. So if you are a platform that is doing that, then you have also to put that in place. And mainly you have also to respect, I didn't know this one, but I looked at it, which is a DSA, Digital Service Act 2022-2065, which is mainly about transparency on traders, the notice on action and action mechanisms. So notice mainly if you have some feedback coming from the users, the risk assessment for large online platforms. So if you have a small platform, you don't need that. But if you have a really large platform, I suppose like Apple platform, Apple apps or Google ads, etc. And data access for researchers. So you have also to give access to some researcher to search some analytics about the use maybe of some software or whatever. So this is mainly the point. So so if you are using such platform, verify that they are complying with this MDCG 2025-4, because they have now to place some mandatory fields on their platform. Okay, next one is the project name. What is the project name? It's called Combine. So mainly this is the project. I think we talked about that before. I don't remember, because it reminds me something, this one. So they wanted to start a project where they are making some work to when you are combining for example, medicinal substance and IVD within clinical trial, because I have a lot of clients like that. I have some pharmaceutical clients that are using IVDs for like companion diagnostic or for testing their device before it's going on the clinical trial, etc. And there is always this question: should the IVD be certified, etc.? Should the IVD, who should certify it? Is it the manufacturer or should it be us, etc.? So this mainly is the point here, because the other issue is that when you go to France, it's not the same rules as when you go to Spain or when you go to Germany or when you go to different countries. And here they try to harmonize that with Combined project to have one rule for the member states in combination of multiple of this kind of combination of medicinal products and IVD. So if you are doing some clinical study or clinical investigation, we call that, with medicinal substance plus IVD, then check this, and maybe it's applicable also for you, so that you can be part of this project. It's a pilot, so mainly you can be part of this project and see how you can maybe benefit from it, because if you have to go to each country one by one to do that, without this can be a nightmare for you. So benefit from that if you are really willing. Okay, so now we have passed the date, June 16th 2025. So from now you have to respect the UK PMS, post-marketing surveillance requirements for UK, and as usual the UK are really doing it great. So they created a masterclass with a lot of documents to read, etc. So I placed all that on the show notes because I couldn't really describe all of them, but they are great. I mean, I looked at some, but they are great. So mainly you have first this big explanation of what is the requirements for this post-marketing surveillance. You have the press release. Then you have the templates for PSUR, some examples of also incident reporting, how to report incidents for some products. Also the guide for the more database, which is the database where you are reporting some issues. So there is an update of the guide due to the PMS requirements, and there are additional documents also there. So yes, from now UK released their requirements for post-marketing surveillance, and now it's applicable since 2 weeks ago now. So you have to apply for it. So as a UK responsible person, we have also to inform our customers and verify that they are really respecting that. So we'll also start this campaign of contacting our customers and asking them, can you prove that you are respecting the UK PMS, etc., etc. But yeah, this will be a bit of work for us also, but we have to do that, and we have to verify that it's working. So don't hesitate to go to the show notes to verify. So yeah, no need to reinvent the wheel. The templates are there, the documents are there, the requirements are there. So just read, or use an AI tool to summarize or to understand what is written there. But yeah, mainly you have to do something there, and update your procedures also, because mainly there are some updates to do related to that. So don't really just unless your procedure are really generic. But yeah, don't forget to mention the UK requirements instead of just following the EU MDR requirements. Okay, now let's go to the USA. So USA has made 3 guidances. The first guidance is on UDI for combination products. So if you have a drug device like a drug device, like a pre-filled syringe or like some drug device products, the idea is, okay, should I put a UDI or not, etc. In Europe, if it's a medical device, yes, but if it's a drug, no. So it's mainly what's in Europe. But in the US, it's different. They are now providing some guidance also on should it be a UDI or no UDI, where to place that, how to register also that in the GUDID when it's a combination product. GUDID is the UDAMED of the US mainly. Not fully the UDAMED, but the UDAMED for the UDI registration mainly. So if you are selling in the US some combination product, then check that, because then the UDIs may be applicable for you, and you have then to make some updates to your products. Next, this one is a bit strange. I mean, it's the one about conducting the guidance in the US about conducting a remote regulatory assessment. I say a bit strange because I read it and I was like, is it an inspection or not? And it says no, it's not an inspection, but it's done by the FDA that are inspectors. So it was a bit strange. Is it an inspection, not an inspection? But yeah, at the beginning they say no, it's not an inspection. I mean, they said clearly it's not an inspection, because inspections are done only on site with inspectors that are coming and doing that. And when this can be done anytime, it can be done. So it's still not clear, but you can get a RRA, remote regulatory assessment request from the FDA, so that they can audit you remotely, so no need to come to your place. So you'll have to show them that you are mainly compliant to the requirements. But it's not an inspection, so I suppose if they find the issues, they maybe will initiate a real inspection, I suppose. But yeah, so it's a new tool. I mean, it's just a tool that was added to the FDA for making that. We have that also in Europe now. We have this remote audit possibility, also with hybrid audit, like you have an auditor on site, but he can contact also somebody off site that can do some review of some documentation off site for them. So hybrid. But yeah, mainly this is a possibility in the US. So if they call you for and they say, oh, we'll come for RRA, you say, I know what it is. It's a remote regulatory assessment. Okay, so don't check again on the show notes and you'll see mainly what it is. And there are a lot of question and answers there, who is held to that, when it comes, etc. So, and you can read that quickly. It's a really short one. Okay, we have next the next one. It is the transfer of always in the US, the transfer of pre-market notification 510K. So mainly you can transfer your 510K to another company or person, as long as there is no change of a product, no change of manufacturing, no change of a lot of things, which is not really possible in Europe. Europe CE marking, you can transfer it to another company, because maybe you can transfer it if this company is the same. No, I think you have still to redo an audit, or you have still to have auditors that are coming back, because the name on the certificate is the name of the previous company. So yeah, you have to issue a new certificate, so there will be a new audit, there will be a new check, etc. But here, no, they can transfer, I suppose, without audit or without things, as long as you are showing that you have no major change to your products or to your to all those elements. So yeah, I suppose it's mainly the reason. But yes, if you have a 510K and you are moving the products to another company, or changing the company, selling your company to another person or company, then you can transfer your 510K to this other person. Okay, then Canada. So Canada is cancelling all the MDEL, so medical device establishment licensing. But be careful, no, I am joking. They are cancelling that if you are not answering to their annual license review. So mainly every year, they will send you a package for ALR, so annual license review. And they are warning you that if by the 1st of April, I think if I remember when I read it, by the 1st of April you are not submitting your application for the ALR, so annual license review, then they can cancel your MDEL, which will be a bit of a problem. So yeah, be careful. If you receive an email saying ALR, it's not a spam. It's not, so take it, open it, and fill it, and send that back to them. Otherwise, maybe you can be cancelled, which can be a problem for you because then you cannot sell anymore in Canada. So they make a warning. So if they make a warning, it means that maybe they have cancelled a lot of the MDLs because nobody was answering or providing that on time. So be careful. Check your inbox. Check if you have done it this year. If you haven't done it, it was before 1st of April. So if you haven't done it, contact Health Canada again to verify if maybe there is a problem and verify that your registration is still active also. So mainly this is that. I mean, they will contact you if your registration is active. So if it's not active, they will not contact you anyway. So, but if it's active, they will contact you with this package of ALR, and then you have to do this review. So please check that. Next, Saudi Arabia, as usual, they are always making some webinars. So this time the webinar will be in July 8th, 2025, and it will be about risk management file. So if you want to learn more about how to create a risk management file, I suppose with ISO 14971 and ISO TR 24971, then you can go to this webinar. It's at 10 a.m. Saudi time. So I don't know what will be the time for it, but I suppose for the US people it will be a bit too early in the morning. But yeah, it's 10 a.m. Saudi time, so don't hesitate to go. So 10 a.m. Saudi time, I think it is 2 a.m. No, 8 a.m. European time, I suppose. CET, I suppose. So yeah, so check the timing if you want to go there. But yeah, SFDA is making this risk management file. So always check this website when you go to this link. There are always some new proposals for new webinars, so you can check there, and then there will be some information there. So don't hesitate also to check because as I'm doing this review once per month, you can miss some of them because they were announced after I released this episode, and they can be maybe you can miss them. So check this website also regularly to find out if there is a new webinar that will be interesting for you. Okay, now let's go to the podcast episodes. So this month we had 3 episodes. The first episode was with Anindya Mukherjee, so from S-Cube Technologies, and we talked specifically about software as medical device on testing and validation. How to do testing and validation, what are documentation to provide, where to start. Because each time people are saying, oh, which test and which test should I do for my software? I say, okay, let's first maybe start with the risk management. What are the potential risks? And then we can establish a test to reduce those risks or to prove that those risks are not existing. So mainly, Anindya will be explaining that on the podcast. So don't hesitate to go to episode 340 on the podcast webpage, and then you can check that. Next one is episode 341, which is an issue that we had with some customers about some concerns related to the risk grading that you have within your risk management file. So some people are just copy-pasting some risk grading from other companies or maybe some examples they find on the internet, but they are not really thinking thoroughly about that. So is it really adapted to my product? I have a low risk device, but I put like 5 or 6 levels of level of risk when maybe the risk of death never will exist, or even the risk of damage will never happen, etc. So the idea here is that to explain to you what you should exactly do to avoid this non-conformity with notified body, because they raise it's the second time, so I suppose they will raise more like that. So check that and try to adapt your risk grading to mainly your type of products and your type of elements. Last episode So it's a new series of episodes that I will start to work on. So we call it From Zero to One. So mainly the series about inviting some people that are in the medtech industry, from quality, regulatory affairs, entrepreneurs, and other types of profiles also. The idea is mainly to inspire you, so to show you how it's working. So here, this first time we had Ivan Perez Chamorro. It was just so why Ivan? Because maybe Ivan was the first one that was invited to my podcast when I started the podcast 5 years ago. So it was like good for me to say, okay, let's start this series of entrepreneurs and discussion of people with Ivan, because mainly it was also a great a good thing from him to start that series a long time ago. So we talked with Ivan about his projects, which is MedBoard, and mainly we talked about how MedBoard is born, how it is working for him. Is it easy to do MedBoard and to have a real life also? So here the objective is also to explain to you the life of an entrepreneur, and that it's not so easy, but it's really rewarding if you are really on it for some time. Now he has employees, now he has a company, now he has things, but 5 years ago he was like nearly alone with just the developer and himself. So it's why we see now the progress 5 years ago, from 5 years ago to now, how it went. So if you want to get inspired by some people, follow our series From Zero to One, which is a series for mainly discussing the feedback from some entrepreneurs. Okay, so if you have some projects, so don't hesitate to contact Easy Medical Device to help you. So we are a consulting firm and we are providing support for quality and regulatory affairs projects, for authorized representative in Europe, UK and Switzerland, for importer in Europe and Switzerland. We have also some platform like EQMS with Smart Eye. We have also eIFU now with a new platform for electronic instruction for use. So if you need anything for quality and regulatory affairs for medical devices, Europe, US, even registration in Latin America, Asia, Australia, etc., don't hesitate to contact us, because we have the partners, we have the contact, we have the people that can help you, and will be really happy to then provide you some support for all that. So don't hesitate to contact me at info@easymedicaldevice.com, info@easymedicaldevice.com, so that we can help you for that. Okay, so thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to provide you this episode, and I hope you like it. Don't hesitate to go to the comments and provide also your comment on it. Just say you like it. And if you also see maybe some other information that would be interested for me to gather every month, so don't hesitate also to share that with me, because mainly I can then make the search and put a new segment in our podcast to provide this information. Okay, so it was really a pleasure. Thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.